All right, so I am super excited to chat with you today, Emily. Emily and I have been working together for over a year now. It's been probably one of my favorite journeys to watch, just from, yes, there's been like a ton of physical change, and we're going to talk about all those things, but like Emily has done amazing work on the mindset piece of things and prioritizing her health. And guys, if like you think you're busy, like this girl is crazy busy and she can do it. So I hope this is inspiring to any of you who feel like you can't find the time, because Emily has a lot on her plate and she made it work. So I guess, like, Emily, let's start by you just telling us a little bit about yourself.
So I am in my mid-30s. I'm a mother of three, and I work full-time. I am now in school full-time. My husband works out of town normally during the week, so I kind of single parent during the week with the help of family. And that's kind of been my journey for the last few years, but this year has been probably the biggest change. And I decided to take on my health as well. So, I don't have a lot of hobbies right now just because everything on my plate is life. So it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for hobbies.
You don't have time to like knit or something right now.
No. Nope. My downtime consists of going to get coffee or going to a brewery. So that's my downtime.
So tell me a little bit, share with us a little bit about like what you were struggling with before we started working together.
I was struggling with, no matter what I was doing, the latest fad or the newest thing that I read that was healthy and good for you, no matter what I was doing, I couldn't lose weight. So, I was working out pretty hard at a gym. And so I knew my workouts were good because it was weight training, it was cardio, it was HIIT, it was all the things that you could need. And I was fairly consistent with it on a weekly basis. And I would eat healthy, I would stay the same. I would eat terrible, I would stay the same. So I was struggling with, how am I supposed to do this? Is there something wrong? I would go to the doctor and nothing's wrong. I've just a complete plateau. So I decided I needed to fix that somehow. And this was kind of my last ditched effort before looking at more extreme options.
I remember in our first conversation together, one of the things that you said was just like feeling really confused.
Yes. Very confused. So I've done Weight Watchers more than once. I've done keto. I've done a modification of a keto paleo Pinterest thing. I've done the quick fix, like do this type of exercise for whatever reason, hormones or whatever, your blood type, and this will help you lose weight. I've done all of like the random cheap ways out or to do it on my own. To the point where it was like, I didn't know if carbs were good or if carbs were bad, or if I should eat more or if I should eat less, if I should do shakes for every meal, or if I'm supposed to eat for every meal, or if I should not eat for 12 hours and then like eat as much food as I possibly could for a few hours. I tried it all, and it got to the point where it was like things were starting to contradict each other. And I didn't even know at that point where or what I was supposed to do for me. I had tried eating for my body type and my hormone type and my blood type and all these things, and it just, nothing seemed to work.
So why was it important for you to get this problem solved?
I was just kind of fed up with it. And just feeling kind of not encouraged. I had been contemplating getting like going a surgical fix, and was told that I had to get my body percent down, my body fat percent. And just kind of feeling completely defeated because I'm like, well, no duh, like I've been trying and nothing's working. So I did consult with a doctor and kind of same thing, like eat small meals, eat snack meals, eat, back to the proteins and carbs and fats and all this stuff. And just feeling like I was getting a runaround. And so I had remembered you coming to a group that I had attended a long time ago for moms, and just talking about nutrition and health and meal planning and prepping and all that stuff. And there was stuff about nutrition, and I don't know, I just kind of looked and you happened to be doing this program. And so I was like, well, I guess I should. I mean, like, I've tried everything else. So maybe having a more personal one-on-one coach would be better, because obviously doing it by myself is not working. And going to a meeting is not working because I can talk myself out of going to one. And having my friends be my accountability partners did not work either. So
unfortunately, it's not a good
no,
solve. Right?
no. So I just decided to see if I should get somebody that could do it more one-on-one with me, and be that accountability.
So, a full disclosure, Emily was I've been a nutrition coach for a long time, but Emily was my very first online client. So she's been with me through all the twists and turns, which is awesome. But, when we had that first kind of intro call and we chatted about like your goals, tell me what felt like after we talked, like, why did Flourish feel like a good solution for you?
I really liked getting off of our call. I didn't feel guilty. I kind of felt able to be honest, even though like that was like the one thing I didn't want to be, because that means you have to face the things that you're failing at, obviously. So if I struggled with something that week, or if I ate something I wasn't supposed to and I was going to try not to disclose it, I just felt compelled to like share it. Like it was an easy relationship to be able to share and not feel like I'm going to get in trouble, or I'm going to have to deal with all the guilt that comes with, oh, I screwed up that day. And I just got off of our first call kind of feeling that kind of openness, and was like, okay, like maybe I can do this. I mean, I was kind of at an end of a rope kind of situation where it was like, well, if I don't try something, like obviously nothing's going to change. So it was kind of like a why not? But I just felt very comfortable and not judged. And that having the small goals would be much more easier for me than trying to completely overturn and overtake life. My life is crazy enough. And so I couldn't really handle another big piece on my plate. I needed something small that kind of weaved its way into my life, which I think Flourish did that for me. Just being able to just be accountable on little things and little tasks, and gradually they got bigger. And when things got overwhelming, we made it small again. And so it was very easy to cater it to my life and craziness.
You did such a good implementing, always control, right? Like so much, I saw that like my shift so much in you of like, it's not all or nothing. It's like, this is something I don't have control over everything this week.
Right. That is true. I very much, a lot of times I did not have a lot of control over things. Oh,
all right, we're back.
Okay. Life.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I think we're back. Technology. So I think what I was saying is you did such a and the next small thing you could adjust, the next small thing you could change, and not, you didn't have excuses for, oh, this week was really busy, so I didn't think of it at all. You always came to the table with, this week was really busy, but I did this, this, and this, right?
Right. And there were days where it was not perfect, or weeks that were not perfect, but it was kind of coming back to the small things, like, okay, well, what could we do? Or what did we do that was a good thing that week? Like, well, you made it to the gym 3 days. Great. Or, well, I didn't turn into that fast food place today. I went home and I just grabbed what I could out of my fridge that I knew was safe. So it was just like going back to the small things, and not feeling guilty about it. Like, if I wanted to indulge on a treat, or, somebody brought something to work that I wanted to eat, it was awesome. I'm going to eat it and it's going to be fine. And my world isn't going to cave in, and I can just eat a good dinner later. And tomorrow I will, get back on, my track, but it wasn't anything bad. It wasn't totally derailing my life. So
that's super powerful.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your results. And results can be physical, mental, emotional. There's no like category on those.
Okay. Well, so physically, we have discussed, at least with my journey, not focusing on pounds, which has been freeing, and yet also challenging at times, but focusing more on like the body fat percentage, and like that changing, and how drastic that really is, even though it's might be a small percent, but like the physical results of that is huge. And so I know that we calculated it. I think it was it 5? I don't have my InBody stuff.
So like 5% body fat?
Yeah, I think it was 5% of body fat this last year. And I definitely could have been more strict and had a bigger result, but I am happy with the fact that I got that result. Like, I am ecstatic about that. I've gone down in jean size, so, that's always exciting. Emotionally, I think just letting go of the guilt of if I'm eating or going out and having, to have like a treat or whatever, or going to have dinner with friends or drinks with friends. Like, it's not a guilty thing, that I can choose what I want to eat off the menu. I don't have to feel bad that I'm going to go out and eat at a restaurant, and that I have to only eat a salad. Like, I typically will avoid the salad menu, and I will pick something that's definitely a little bit on the heartier side, so that I'm getting full and I'm eating something that I know is going to be better for my body and last me longer. Because I just know I do better that way. And so just being able to let go of that guilt, and then understanding like my portions. And I can always take my measuring cups with me, since they're my hands, and just know like how to eat a certain portion of my food. And, setting that aside when I go out to eat, like setting what I can eat aside, and then grabbing a box and putting the rest in the box. And then that's my dinner for later, or lunch for tomorrow, or something like that. I think mine's more the emotional thing that I've gotten over the last year, is just kind of getting rid of that guilt, and then knowing what works for me, and like owning that. I can now watch a commercial of a diet fad or something like that, and just be like, that is ridiculous. Like, that does not work. Like, that is just not realistic for somebody to do that forever. So I think that's been probably the most freeing thing for me.
What do you, like, let's say you hadn't embarked on this journey, like, what would that have looked like, do you think?
I think I'd still be in the same spot, working out, and maybe not, I don't know. I don't know if a lot of things would have changed this year had I not started something small and talking about small goals. And there's been a lot of stuff on a personal level, like leaving a job that I've loved for 10 years and switching to a whole new career and going into school for that career. I don't know if that would have been that same success. Because I think a lot of things like thinking big and thinking what makes me happy, and like we looked at things that were more than just nutrition and food. It was a mindset that we focused on. And I think that triggered some of those other changes in my life. So I probably would still be where I was a year ago and just thinking it was something that physically was wrong with me that I wasn't able to fix. So yeah.
So proud of you, lady. On so many
I'm proud of
levels.
myself.
You should be. So looking it back on like, right, because coaching, one-on-one coaching, it's an investment. It's a bigger investment than any program you probably had ever done before. Like, do you feel like that investment was worth it?
I think it was. Financially, it was a challenge. I know for me, I used part of my bonus that I had gotten from work for it. And it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, I mean, I've tried all the other options. I've tried the free options. I've tried the let's make it up on my own option. Let's just Google and Pinterest everything. I've tried the easier ways and it didn't work. So I think like making that first, like that 3-month commitment, it was kind of like, okay, let's just try it and see where we get. And I didn't even have that big of a result in my first 3 months for my journey. Like we were still just trying to get my body to recognize what was good and what wasn't, and how much was good and how much wasn't, and just getting more my mindset in the right spot. Like, I don't know. I mean, yes, there were physical changes a little bit here and there, but most of that I think happened closer to my 6-month mark, really. And so I think just grabbing onto that first 3 months and just being like, okay, I'm going to give this my try. I'm going to see what I get out of it. And I think honestly, it was definitely hands down worth it. I told that to a few people that I don't know if they are clients or not, but I have had people ask me if it was, and I personally do. I think it was a hard thing for me to decide to do, and I'm glad I did. And I'm still doing it, obviously. So, I'm still like, I don't want to let it go yet. So I still need the accountability even a year in. So, yeah. And it's more of a friend thing now. It's like, I feel like I'm just texting a friend when I'm struggling. And, I think that really helps because it's like a sense of community, that you have. And that's always important when you're taking this journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think you kind of answered it, but I'm going to ask it in a different way. Like, if somebody was on the fence about like whether they wanted to invest in their health, whether this was the right fit, like, what would you tell them?
I would probably tell them, like, it's only like, you can only figure it out, and what works for one person is not going to work for another person. And what's holding you back or what you're struggling with, it may not be so much just the food and the fitness part of it. And you need to explore that and figure out what it is that is holding you back. And then if you can figure that out, everything else falls into place. So if you're on the fence about taking control of your own health, I don't know what's holding you back, because you're really the only one that's holding yourself back. Nobody else can take that leap for you. So I would definitely encourage somebody to do it. And just, it's a small commitment, like, do it for 3 months, see how you feel. And if you don't feel any different, then you know what, you can try the next fad, but you can at least try it. You won't know unless you do it and give it your full effort and just see what comes of it.
Emily, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you for sharing your journey. I know it's going to inspire somebody else to take control of their health. Is there anything else you want to add before we go today?
Um, no, I think I'm good. I love my journey. I am loving that we're still on it. And I'm excited to see where we go next because I know we have some new goals for this year. So we'll go from there.
It's going to be great. You're going to crush it just like everything else. So, um, thank you so much for taking the time this morning. I appreciate it more than you know, and just honored to get to be part of your journey.
Thank you so much for your help.